Hey, Friday night. Weekend underway. Hopefully you're looking forward to it. Meanwhile, as usual, my part of the United States can't figure out what season it wants to be. Just wait about 10 minutes and you'll get all 4 seasons rolling in one. It was pushing 70 degrees 48 hours ago. And now the plow guy just came by again. It is more than 50 degrees colder than it was last time. Jane, stop this crazy thing. I want to get off. I say we should probably get this shindig on the way, shouldn't we?
Let's go while we're young.
Baseball. That's what Goofy said, right? That's what Goofy said going down? Baseball. Yes, that's what it sounded like.
We would be honored if you would join us.
You are never a lowly worm around here because you hit the follow button. And as far as we know, Fluffy Kitty Ninjas don't eat worms. But we welcome you to the channel. Let's go and do this special eMLB SportsNet broadcast edition. Let's go. It is special Friday night edition. Fluffy Kitty Ninjas, no games on tap for tonight. We have a brief little review podcast type show that we are doing here. Not in the formats that we did before where we had actual smiling faces in front of you. We will have some people joining us on the line shortly, getting ready to give their thoughts on the start of their season. So we welcome you. It's Fluffy Kitty Ninjas, eMLB SportsNet. It is week 1 review. I am Kamish. Everyone calls, well, my friends will call me LB. Everyone calls me Kamish. My wife, probably because of the snow more than anything, will call me things with 4-letter words on it, like babe. I'm trying to lean on those more, and I think I earned some brownie points with our fun that we did Wednesday before our game of the night. But we leave all 4-letter words reserved for her. She earns that right. We ask you, be kind, rewind, and in the immortal words of Daffy Duck. That's Mario. That's not Daffy Duck.
What's your language, bud? We're on the air.
But GT Sundown will start us off tonight with a boost as he spends some of his hard-earned balls of yarn to get a boost for his player. Congratulations for earning the boost. As I am ready to go, we'll take notes as best as I can in the middle of our broadcast today. So, doing things a little different than you normally see. No games tonight. Next game will be Sunday. The council has spoken, meaning those who put a bet in did it. I saw that change in bet. Bets were done as of 6 o'clock. It will be the Mets taking on the Indians on Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern time here. Game of the day edition. Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show. Mets will get another game as they appeared on opening day as they continue interleague action. When will we actually see the National League participate? Are you listening, National League? American League seems to want it. All money goes through the American League apparently this season. I'm kidding. I'm just trying to goad you guys. So let's talk about the National League to get ourselves started here. Let's quickly take a peek over at the National League East. Well, nothing like a little competition to start us off. Show the Mets early before things get ugly. Yes, that's a pretty good strategy. Denver, we're not trying to do that because we think that you'll then be 2-100. With apologies to Denver. Yes. So, speaking of the East, Washington Nationals, Atlanta Braves starting off 3-2 on the year. Mets, Marlins the other way around on that, and the Phillies being the only team that have a 6th game in so far. They were at 500 to start us off way too early to be looking at specifically anything here. Just expect that we're going to continue to see the usual battle between Washington, Atlanta, everyone else trying to become part of the equation. It's just a matter of the staying power that they have. Over in the Central, Milwaukee Brewers have started off very nicely, going 5-1 to start their year as they made several different moves. Keston Hiura already off with 9 RBI himself. Trying to remember if there was anyone else we want to talk about with the Brew Crew. So if we take a quick peek, you've seen good performances from Jonder Suarez, the Human White Flag, Chris Flexen, Walker Buehler has a win as well too. So things are going in the right direction to start off. We'll see if they can continue to do that. Of course, that is just as a competitive division. The Cardinals were predicted to win 100 games this year, 20 games more than anybody else. The Pirates pegged themselves to be the best team in the division, and starting 2-4, plenty of time. I mean, there's 156 games left, so we're not too concerned about it. But Cubs and Reds, Cubs started 0-3, have come back to win 2 of their last 3 games that they have played, so looking a little bit better here at this point. Out in the National League West, well, a lot of potential competition there. We got the former world champion Diamondbacks from 2023. We've got the deep pocket Dodgers. We've got, and with the Dodgers staff that even the number 5 could probably be a number 3 on many of the rosters here. The Rockies and the Padres. The Giants aren't really sucking. They're just 2-5. It's too early to say that about anybody. Mike's still heading the team in the right direction as best as he can. Mets do have an injury bug to start. So real quickly before we transition to our first interview on the night, let's take a peek at the injuries throughout the league. We'll just quickly skim and look at notable names. So obviously the Diamondbacks will look forward to the return of Mitch Keller. Expected to be back somewhere right around Memorial Day week. AJ Minter is a minor injury, but Max Fried suffered a torn rotator cuff. Not sure if Fried is going to return this season or not. He's been put on the 60-day, has not been put on injured reserve, which would free up some cash, but it would cost Fried the entire season, including postseason. So if Aiden decides to put Fried on injured reserve, he will be done for the entire year. He will get a relief in cash, but it will cost him the entire season. Baltimore will look for the return of both Franklin Colomb as well as the suspense. Nick Spence, we saw during game of the night, suffered an injury in a collision at second base, got back spasms that are really struggling through. He is expected to miss the rest of this month. He may be more than a month out before he gets back, so we're currently targeting middle to late May before Memorial Day is the goal for Spence to return. Meanwhile, down in, where did we want to go? We want to go to Cleveland. The sidearm slinger Nick Sandlin continues to struggle with injury. He is expected to come back at the earliest in the All-Star break. So if the Indians have any potential of being in the postseason, then it will work to their favor if Sandlin is going to be a part of that equation, because that's like getting, assuming he still has the same talent he had before, that is like getting the equivalent of a pretty solid free agent or trade without having to trade for anybody. Houston just got hit with the injury bug a bit. Keanu Keela is out, expected to be back by the end of the month. Kyle Tucker, excuse us for a sec, we gotta dance for a sec. PJ, we thank you very much for doing a 4-month subscription and having done it with Prime. Real quick, if you happen to have Amazon Prime and you didn't know this, you can connect your Twitch Prime account to Amazon Prime, which gives you access to one channel every 30 days at no cost to you, but full perks to the person that you support. There's so many channels on Twitch. If you do it here, we do an extra namaste as we thank you for that honor, because no one else gets it for at least the next 30 days. Of course, that means you get access to all the perks of the channel, which is the world famous, because my kid makes them, Fluffy Kitty Ninja emotes, the Zdeno Chara Pink Bunny emote, the boost to your virtual player, which, making sure I remember my people, it's Slambino for PJ, and of course, you decree that cats rule. Let's continue. So Cleveland looking to get some players back. They've got several pitchers that could be of help to them. Kyle Tucker just fell with a torn labrum here. He's not expected back until just before the All-Star break. So we'll keep an eye on what the Astros plan to do with their outfield in that instance. Where else did I want to look? The Mets, of course, have suffered injuries. Garrett Cole seems to be permanently injured these days. Saul Gonzalez had a little mishap thanks to Mrs. Machado. No, we kid. Machado had nothing to do with it. But I tell you, thanks to what Manny did, it's the running joke around here. Jackson Miller hopefully will also avoid doing any further home improvement this year, as he was expected to be the opening day starter last Sunday. And he got himself injured the day before, got put on the IL, and is expected to still be about a week away from coming back and being part of this Mets roster. Of course, the horse, Alex Colomé, also injured, expected back at the end of the month. We haven't even talked AL Central. Jeez. We haven't even gotten that far yet. Athletics, let's see. No, Phillies, of course. Machado cost himself his season with his little mishap. A couple of outfield injuries, as well as Deshaun Kiersey and Harrison Bader are down. And what could realistically be their starting ace at this point, Brian Abreu, is expected back in early May at this point due to a hamstring strain he suffered. Pirates have had injuries as well. Brian Reynolds is expected to be back in the not-too-distant future. Bobby Cueva also expected back in early May as well. Meanwhile, the Mariners have been hit fairly recent as well, too. Austin Roberts, Ronnie Enriquez have been injured for a bit. Enriquez's season is expected to be over. Roberts, who is part of the bullpen, expected to be back in the second half. The injury that they're probably regretting the most is the downfall of the Eradicator. Eric Kelly has an oblique strain, is expected to not be back until just before Memorial Day for the big man, the biggest man in eMLB. All right, so those are injuries. Now what I'd like to do is I would like to go to our first interview of the day, and we're going to literally go into tomorrow. We're going to go into this weekend, because where he's located, it's already Saturday. Coming to us live from England is our Colorado GM, Lloyd Boston. Lloyd, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for your time. And again, where it is later for you this evening, we sincerely appreciate you coming aboard and giving us an opportunity to talk with you.
If I fall asleep, just move on.
All right, we have that planned. So somebody better be warmed up in the bullpen, ready to take over if Lloyd falls asleep here. But let's go talk about the Rockies here. So not a bad start, hitting 500 to start off this season. And of course, the Rockies are mostly known for their offense. So, and of course, we know why, because of the mile-high air, the rare air of the Rockies. But from your opinion, with having put this team together, what do you feel the 2025 Rockies should be most remembered for by the end of this season?
Do you know, I think that they're probably going to be remembered for losing really badly, but in reality, I think they have there's a good core of young people that have come up. And so you've got like Machado, you've got Horner, and then obviously you got the beast from the East, Suzuki. And I think the hitting is still going to be there, and I think that they're the real deal. You know, realistically, pitching is the downfall. So good pitchers are really hard to find. We brought in Chris Archer for free from the Dodgers on waivers, hoping that maybe at least there'll be a good veteran presence from that. But overall, I think they're going to surprise people. We're in the best division. The you know, in I think we got the strongest division out of all of the whole league, and so. But I think there's a possibility for them to surprise people.
Okay. Okay, good. So, of course, you brought up Seiya Suzuki, so we're showing some of his stats right now. He's been a presence. I mean, we kind of snickered a bit, him coming a bid at $86 million originally and having a rule created after him, which kind of tempers that ever happening within the league again. But he's really shown to be the real deal and a better acquisition of it. So real quickly, as we look at Suzuki, already hitting 385 with 4 home runs this year. He's had back-to-back 30 home run seasons. He's shown that the transition to the Nippon League can be very doable here. Are we looking at another batting championship here for Suzuki?
Do you know what? I think so. I mean, if you look at some of the things that he's done coming in, he's won the batting title every year, for the last 2 years. Now, obviously, he's playing in Colorado, so he's got a good shot at it. But you've still got to put wood on the ball, and you've got to get it through the infield. And he's not massively hitting lots and lots of home runs. He's got that. If you look at his on-base percentage, he's taking a lot of walks. He's got a great eye. He's 400 over 400, OBP every time. I think he is really, and I think this, when you say what will the Rockies be known for, this could be the year he hits 400.
Wow. All right. You heard it here
The
first.
prediction that he wasn't going to hit 300.
The
So
prediction. We've
Yeah.
just had a Ted Williams moment, everybody, as a 400 prediction is being set here. So we'll check back, but I think it's safe to say where Suzuki is at the much more tolerable contract of $45 million, and again $35 million next season. Now that begs the question: with all of his success, are you worried about, say, a Suzuki opting out of his deal here after next year?
Do you know what? I'm not actually. I think still 35 million is a lot. I structured the contract to make sure that as he got older, the price would go down. But I think overall it's still roughly around the average of the overall contract is where he's going to be at. So excellent. Well,
he's been an enigma. He's been an impressive watch all around. We will continue to keep his eye on him. And again, he's trying to go for some rare air of trying to win 3 times, especially in his first 3 seasons, the National League Batting Championship, which will be impressive in itself. I'm going to transition I'm going to stay with the offense here, and let's talk about last season that they hit 296 as a team. So it kind of hinted on it before, but let's really ask this straight out question. Is, in your opinion, is this the Mile High Air talking at 296, 20 points above the prior year? Or is this really a very potent offense? Is this a juggernaut besides just Suzuki?
I think the Mile High Air helps, but I do think that, as I said, there's a lot of really good hitters, and they're the real deal. I mean, if you look up and down the lineup with, obviously starting with Suzuki, then you got Horner, who's just come out of nowhere last season. Hampson has been batting about around 300 every season. You've got Misner. Anderson came out of nowhere again last season, so a real good, a lot of young good hitters. I think there's a few guys on there that strike out a lot, but overall, I do think that there's a lot of really good hitters, and just kind of, I've built the team around contact. I've built the team around just putting, if we can hit the ball, we can get it all over the place. And the only thing missing at the moment for us is the pitching. So hopefully, we can play the game of we can score more than you.
Yeah, that's definitely had to be the ammo of most Rockies teams over the time, but pitching absolutely is very important. We'll get to that in a sec. I just have to point out for reference, you made the mention that the horn dog Jim Horner came out of nowhere. No player drafted ninth should be considered to be a player that comes out of nowhere.
But
I was just going to say, as we look at Horner in his rookie year, 287 average, 29 home runs, 92 runs batted in. Real quickly, let me just say thank you to Cavacom bringing in his rating crew. Thank you for that. You're watching a special eMLB SportsNet podcast edition. We have on the line with us Lloyd Boston out of England. He is literally in Saturday morning where he is located. He is our Colorado Rockies GM as we talk a little bit about the National League Western Rockies. So again, Horner, really great compliment, kind of expected. He had a great 1.0 career, so we're hoping to see a 2.0 career that's similar. Probably going to be better, especially if he continues to benefit from the Rocky air. Let's do that transition since you said pitching will be the challenge. One particular note, 25-year-old Andrew James out of Haverhill, Massachusetts, also known to be on the spectrum with autism. You tapped him to be your closer here at this point. Now, last year, he had a pretty impressive season. He had a 1.04 whip, but it was an injury-reduced season where I believe you were still working on a combination of Sean Doolittle and Wade Davis in that closing role. Apologies if I'm off on that. But it looks like you're giving the tab to James here at this point. How confident are you in his ability to be able to work in that role?
you know, I mean, he's got. We wanted him to do it last year, and he had a. It seemed like when he was on the road, he had a big case of the chips. You know, he couldn't pitch in that away, and I think it was tough for him. So we brought in some specialists, and we brought in some people that that can kind of help him with the feelings that he goes through during those late game matches. Yeah. And and so far he's impressed. He's done well. He's ready. Last year I don't think he was just quite ready, but now he's ready to take on the lead bullpen.
Excellent. And for those who are not aware, James has been on the spectrum all of his life on autism. He does take a eMLB approved medication that he has been taking all of his life. It has been approved, and he has said he does find that he struggles a bit more when he's on the road just because of the noise and, again, for the challenges that he has. But with a fastball as hard as his is, if he can keep that control, which the walks had been improving, we saw over the season, you may have the makings of someone who can spend many years in this particular role for you.
Absolutely. I think he's ready now, and I'm really hoping that he progresses. He gets stronger. I'd like to see him get his fastball up a little bit more, or the speed, push up, get stronger, and keep that control.
Good. Let's do the final question on the day for you. So you're in what is definitely not an easy division. You're in the National League West. It seems like all Western divisions these days are just uphill battles. You've got the 2023 World Champion Arizona Diamondbacks that are always going to be a threat. You have the Dodgers, who number 5 starter could probably be a number 2 or 3 on many other rosters here in eMLB. And of course, you also have the Padres that look like they got a very rejuvenated Fernando Tatis Jr. ready to go here. And let's not discount the Giants that are putting the tools in place. Michael Sean Kane, Bo Bichette, among many others that team is building around. So let's just talk realistic. How much of a shot do you think the Rockies have this season against this type of opposition?
See, I'm an eternal optimist. We're gonna win it all. This is it. This is the season of destiny.
Every player should come in with that. Every GM should come in with that mindset from day 1 to day 162, right?
Realistically, I think it's going to be a tough division for all of us. I think Padres, they've just completely unstoppable. Diamondbacks, they're just going to do the Diamondbacks thing and just win. Dodgers are strong, even stronger again this year. I'd like to say more about the Giants, but they...
Their time will come. We like what we see going on there. They've got the #1 draft pick coming this year. There looks like there's going to be some generational talent that we've got the potential to be able to see here really soon. We recently seen a lefty that's going to come out of the University of Oregon that looks phenomenal. That may go #1. Very possibly.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet!
Distracted by the gifted sub. Thank you, Twins, for the gifted sub to Swiggy. Appreciate that. And hello to Swiggy, my fellow Out of the Park streamer affiliate. Go right ahead, Lloyd.
I was going to say is, I think from the draft perspective, I think it's probably going to be a shortstop. I think it's almost guaranteed to be a shortstop going #1.
I think I know the shortstop you have in mind. We'll talk about that as we get a little further in the season. But Lloyd Boston, appreciate your time. Thank you for literally waiting up until tomorrow to be able to speak with us. And good luck to you the rest of this season. And we hope to see, at least on maybe Sundays, we hope to see your Rockies in Game of the Day soon enough.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was Lloyd
Bye.
Boston from the Colorado Rockies GM, giving us some thoughts on his season and where he thinks his Rockies are going to match up against those within his division. So that's a good look over at the National League. Let's it was just asked, what's his Discord name? It's LBoston1 in the Discord. And don't forget, the GM directory is fully updated inside of your Discord, so you can find all that information there. All right, so again, thanks to Lloyd for that. Let's transition over to the American League. We'll start by talking in the AL East. Red Sox looking like they are off to a good start, but hey, anybody have the Blue Jays starting off winning 4 of their first 7? Probably not. Probably many of you thought that the Jays were not going to have any chance this season, but I've got to tip the hat to Harris Buehler. Harris went out and got some nice pieces. He brings in Aaron Judge on short money. He's got the Big Bear. The Big Bear is doing all right in the early start.
evil does not
Wear a bonnet!
Danny gifting a sub to Cody. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Just trying to read and catch up with the comments here. Michael Chavez was also brought in. So a lot of moving parts brought in and a lot of short money. As you look at the salary situation, you got Judge in for 1 season. You got Eloy Jimenez with a team option for next year. So you've got full control over whether or not to take a chance on that. Wah, wah. Cody's waiting for his prime sub to go through, but Danny gotcha. Thank you, Ludwig. I am very proud of what these guys mean because they are the ones that make this universe. I'm just in the background. I'm the guy behind the curtain, but they are the ones that really bring life to this universe. So, I really have to give a tip that the Jays are trying to position for their future to become ready, but they're actually playing pretty well here. Again, their franchise is Juan Coelho. Coelho's having a nice, he's got 2 wins. His ERA's in the mid-5s.
Wear a bonnet!
Jamie, thank you. 10 gifted subs. So kind. I see some names on there that we'll want to catch up with.
Wear a bonnet!
By the way, this gives me a quick chance to remind you about the Discord. Join us in the Discord if you want to be a deeper part of the eMLB universe.
Wear a bonnet!
And if you want to have bonnets as well too, that always is helpful as well. I see Aaron has also dropped one
Wear a
gifted,
bonnet!
one gifted sub from Aaron as well too. Thank you, Aaron Silence, our Arizona GM. We got a hype train going. Keep it better.
Wear a bonnet!
So kind from all of you guys, although it throws me off on trying to be able to communicate with you on this special podcast. Not complaining.
Wear a bonnet!
But it's even more reason why it's awesome to hear this, but but sometimes I hear it in my sleep that evil does not wear a bonnet.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Gonna have to get a bonnet hanging right here. That's what I'm gonna have to do, so.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Jay Kuhn, it's gonna be a bit before you'll get tapped, but thank you for the 10-month Prime sub as
Evil
well.
does not
Wear a bonnet.
I see we're gonna just have the train go, go, go. So, 100 biddies from Twins. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate
Evil
that
does
as well.
not
Wear a bonnet.
Kamish wears a bonnet in his sleep. That's what I heard, probably. So, all right. So, Jay's having a good
Evil
start.
does not
Wear a bonnet.
Oh my goodness. Did I just see what I saw? Yep. Danny Smith coming in with 25 gifted subs as well. Twins with the 100 biddies. Danny with
Come
the
on,
25.
ride the train. Come ride it.
It's over 9,000. Yes, indeed. It is over 9,000. We're going to be hearing about bonnets for a while.
does not
Wear a bonnet.
I almost wonder if I should try to mute my alert here.
Evil
Not because I
does
want to take
not
away from it,
Wear a bonnet.
but because I wanted to be able to talk about the American League East with you guys.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Let me go to my alerts for a second, see if I can change that. Maybe not.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Alert variations. I'm just going to disable it for the moment.
Evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
I hope you don't mind, but I just paused it. I hope.
Cat, I'm a kitty cat.
I
And
didn't
dance, dance, and I
stop
dance,
that.
dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat.
Is it now? I think it's going to try to switch.
Cats,
Okay, hold
I'm a
on.
kitty-
Now it's going to try that. We got to disable everything. All right. Guys, sincerely appreciate it. I thank you very much. I thought I disabled it. I gotta save the settings. Hopefully that works. Yes. Good luck, Kamish, trying to get your show
Cat, I'm a
getting
kitty cat.
done.
And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty
Yeah,
cat.
I
And
thought I
dance, dance, dance,
disabled
and I
it.
dance, dance, dance.
So much for that.
I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat.
So you know what?
Dance, dance, and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, dance, dance.
I'm just gonna re-enable the bonnets
evil does not
because that's
Wear
quicker.
a bonnet.
The bonnets are quicker, at least. Apparently, I can't kill them.
evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Ah, goodness, I've lost track of all the names. But the hype train goes on, indeed.
evil does
So-
not
Wear a bonnet.
To our next guest, I will apologize that we're just going to be a little behind on when we've got you started.
evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
And I think Minerva said it best, kitty ninjas never die. You know, they are lurking so that they can drop bonnets on you and all
evil
that stuff.
does not
Wear a bonnet.
We will just dance instead. Yes, that's exactly what happened here. So
evil does not
Wear
I
a
have no
bonnet.
clue where we are. Seriously not, and I don't know if you noticed, but I did change it. One thing I was able to change
Wear a bonnet.
is that when the hype train ensues, it's Kitty Poggers that goes around on the banner now. 14 subs.
evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
It says 14, but there were 39 gifted subs total. 25, thank you to Danny Smith, all of you,
evil
Jamie
does
Thurman,
not
all of you
Wear
kind
a
enough
bonnet.
to provide gifts. It's sincerely appreciated. It allows Mrs. LB to
evil
basically
does
say,
not
Wear a bonnet.
yeah, she says that too, even though it's not wear a bonnet, but it's like, okay, you can stream again.
evil does not
Wear a bonnet.
Meanwhile, everyone's got their different emotes. I still stand by the fact that Twitch should allow us to have hype train
Evil
emotes.
does not.
Wear a bonnet.
Let us create emotes for you and unlock them on hype trains that are specific to the channel. That's what I really
Evil
like.
does not.
Wear a bonnet.
We'll see. Maybe one day, but not yet. Have we gotten all of them yet?
Evil
I'm lost.
does not.
Wear a bonnet.
Yeah, there's about 15 more minutes of stream time approval, mostly because it's going to take that long to get through all the
Evil
alerts.
does not.
Wear a bonnet.
But again, I will endeavor, as much as I love Evil does not wear a bonnet, I'd like it to only be said once.
Evil does not.
Wear a bonnet.
Hey, we even gifted Twitchy McTroll. Why isn't it Twitchy McTwitchface? Hey! Extreme with 200 biddies. We thank you for that. Can I go find that one and make sure? There's Statsmonger with 100. You guys are just absolutely awesome. Thank you for all of that. It's crazy. You guys are just crazy. Hashtag partner push as well, too, which, who knows? Who knows? I tell you, it's insane. Alrighty, guys, absolutely awesome. RIP headphone users indeed. All right, now we'll talk about the American League Geese. So, it was said in chat by a certain GM that a certain team sucks. Meaning Brendan McGuirk speaking of his own Orioles and saying, what a tough start. So, yeah, absolutely a tough start. You lose one of your top offensive talents in Nick Spence. We had that talk when the season began, when we did our interview, when our podcast show, and Brendan said it himself. If either Buster Bluth or Nick Spence take any type of injuries, that might really seriously have an uphill battle to get the season done. So Orioles only off to a 1-5 start here so far. Still plenty of time. You still have a healthy Ethan Knight, Jim Reed, Matt McClendon. Just a matter of whether or not those other two pitchers, Giancarlo Laris, did not look good when we watched him on the game of the night. Chance Adams didn't look any better. He looked worse. If anything, Trevor Hinkle, making his eMLB debut, looked pretty good in his 2 appearances thus far. 1.5 ERA. Let's not put a lot of pressure on him thus far. So, obviously, the offense and the scoring has to turn around, as they've only scored 20 runs, so a little over 3 runs a game so far is the average for them. They'll need to definitely do better than that. Over in the West, no surprise, the world champion Angels are off to a 6-0 start. No surprise, Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani already with 5 home runs and hitting over 300. No surprise that Shohei Ohtani 2-0 with a 2.45 ERA. What might be a surprise, is how rookies like Greg Briggs are pitching. Briggs, who pitched last season, 11 starts, he was a 5.57 ERA. Looked great through his first 6 innings. One game does not dictate a season, but he looked great through his first 6 innings of work. Yes, that's a lot of first and second. That could be a long season for the American League West if that is the cylinders that the Angels are running on thus far. But meanwhile, out in the West as well, you got the Astros. Mariners again are down Eric Kelly, so the question will be, how will they recover from that injury? Of course, they still got Pedro Serrano, they still have Joey Gallo, still have a lot of offensive talent that they can work on to make things happen in that situation. Jamie's asking me to move on because he does not want me to talk about the 4-game losing streak of the Texas Rangers thus far. Boss battle. Get some balls of yarn or let's get fluffy. The 3-headed dog in on this charade. Need 25 people in order to wake up Fluffy. Type boss, you know you want to. Yes. And then the Athletics are still in the picture. Course 2-5 early on. So, over in the Central. Nice start for the White Sox. 5 out of 7 for their first starts. Have a little bit of hope in Dwight Kida, a 1.0 name that's looking to make a name for himself in the 2.0 universe. Nate Lewis looking pretty comfortable in that cleanup spot with 4 home runs. Joey Best was never given the opportunity to show what he could do, and St. Louis came over in the trade. And here you go. Yes, Falcon, welcome to the show. Glad you got a gifted sub. And again, for anyone who's here and was gifted a sub, you've been invited to create a virtual player in the eMLB universe, and the best way to be a part of the eMLB universe is to join us in the Discord. Join us on the Fluffy Kitty Ninja Discord. It is the home for everything eMLB. You'll see all trades. You will see all articles, even stories by our virtual player, Serial Killer 840, cereal with, as in the breakfast food, that is. He just wrote about his new upcoming player in the draft, Xavier Odom. He's from UCLA, Inglewood, California. Going to be a speedster out in the outfield. Another guy on your radar to be looking at, as well as some guy we think has a good potential to go in the top 2, maybe even number 1, Jandy Ronson out of the University of Oregon. Big 6'9" left-hander. So White Sox are looking pretty good on start. The question is, can they hold it? That will be the deal. Minnesota, again, had a good run. Fell just short, 1 game short of beating the Tigers for the American League Central crown last season. Tigers, early 3-2. We expect them to be in the battle for a regular basis on it. Then you've got Kansas City, also 1 game back right now with a 3-2 record. And Cleveland. Cleveland will be our game of the day, along with the New York Mets. That will be Sunday on this channel, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Coffee with the Commish edition. Bring your Java. Let's watch some baseball then. You're just here for the balls of yarn, aren't you? Yes, it does go away. As soon as you got 100 hours, it will go away. And then if you've hung around here long enough, there is a title that I think only NC Pirate has so far. It says, does my wife know how much time we spend together? Yes. See, okay, Denbrew has it as well. So Denbrew just got that honor. So does my wife know how much time we spend together? She does. Yes, she does. So all right, so let's go to our next interview. You do get a chuckle out of that one, right? Hey, DishNet. Dish is going to be streaming tonight. We will be raiding over to DishNet when we are done here with the Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show. We've got one more interview we'd like to do, and we're going to go to one of our new GMs here. The entire AL Central is new. Mark Becker having 1 full season counts or not, but it is kind of been our proving grounds, and it's looking like it's really got some great potential. So let's bring in one of those that are hoping to make that happen. We're going to go to Kansas City. We're going to bring in our Kansas City GM, Matthew Bellows. You might know him better as Minerva. Minerva, welcome. How are you?
Thanks for having me here, Commish. Good.
You bet. Good to have you here. Thank you for stopping in. Minerva Speaks is what is said by DishNet in chat, so apparently you were assumed to be a mime in a box. But
Don't speak much, yeah.
Yeah, don't speak much. So speak softly, carry a big batting stick. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Actually, let's transition. Let's ask you your first question. So I've got to talk right away about a trade that I was surprised about, probably more on the Baltimore side than anything, but Chin-Feng Chen traded straight up for Khalil Lee this season. You brought in the guy known as the Taiwan Bomb, the 26-year-old from Kaohsiung, Taiwan. 28 home runs, 100 RBI last season. Of course, playing in a very homer-friendly Camden Yards, which has since been tweaked a bit. But was curious, what led you to making this deal? What attracted you to bringing in Chen versus trying to go longer with Khalil Lee? Because, of course, Lee was he's in his contract year right now. So what attracted you to bringing in Lee? And do you think he's capable of duplicating this at Kauffman Stadium for a year?
Well, to be honest, since I'm still new to all of this, I kind of wanted to learn my craft. And a profile like Lee, even though he has a good I rating, just doesn't sit well with me. And I figured, when Brendan offered me the trade, I figured it'd be worth the shot because Chen got that good rating in I mean, he had good numbers last year, right? And it's not like Brendan. I would hope Brendan didn't, give me a bad deal. But I look at it, and I'm like, okay, so maybe he's got potential to be well in our system, and I don't have a problem with high contact, decent home run power. His avoid K is a little bit better, so he's not going to strike out as much as Lee, and he's got decent defense. So I think the risk, even though some may not agree with it, I think it's worth, in my opinion, and I'm willing to take that risk and see how well Chen does in Casey.
Well, one way to also look at this is that you bought yourself time. You also went with a more affordable contract. Each guy has some form of plus that they bring to the equation. You could probably say Lee is maybe a more well-rounded player. He might be just a little bit better off defensively than Chen is. Definitely brings a much better speed element to the game. But what he did lack is what we think is the raw, natural offensive talent of Chen. So, again, it's a fair gamble. As I said in the original podcast on for opening day preview, that it's hard to look at Chen as a 28 home run, 100 RBI guy. It's hard to look at him as he was the weaker link on it. He's not. But where the fact that he was moved with all of the time he still has, because he's not even 2 service years in, you've got a lot of time and control. You've got 2 years of affording him at a good price before arbitration comes in. So you put yourself, for what you might lose in the overall offensive talents, you're not set back, and you have additional pluses, which we'll get to in a sec. So actually, let's do that. Since we're talking about Chen, let's talk about what you think this does for the middle of your lineup now. So here you go. You've got Andrew Vaughn. You've also got rookie Lucas Parker. He is a community creative player of Limsol Gaming. He has been paying attention, if from afar. So he's hoping to see Rookie of the Year contention, is what he said. You got Jacques Landry. I have to do that every time I hear it. And, of course, you've added Chen to the equation. So you've got 4 batters now who, in the last seasons, have shown 20-plus home run potential. So what are your thoughts on this lineup when you compare it to your opponents just within the division?
When I first joined the team and I saw how the roster was set up, I figured Vaughn was going to be our star. I mean, he's got great potential. He's got wonderful stats. And that 1 year that hurt him, last year that hurt him, I don't look at that as, oh, it's over for him. I consider it just a bad year. So obviously I'm going to focus on having Vaughn as our star player. Parker is another good bat. I wish his running was a little bit better. But just like Vaughn, he's got good contact, good avoid K. I like the fact that he can play very well and hopefully aids Vaughn at that first base position. And then we have Jacques Landry. He's got incredible gap power. I mean, I've never seen a 20 on anybody that often. It's rare to see a 20. And he's great at third base. He's got a little bit of shortstop, so if he needs to play shortstop, he can always do that. I think Jacques is going to be really good in that middle lineup spot because of that gap power. If you say you got 2 runners on base and he gets a hit, it's a good chance that that's going to make it into extra bases so he can score more. And that's obviously what I want him to be. He's hurting right now, but hopefully that picks up within the season. And then having Chen behind them will hopefully boost the overall lineup because, as we talked about, he's not a loss compared to Lee. So with the way the middle of the lineup is set, it's like you have your power Vaughn, and then you have good Parker and Landry who have the gap power to get them on base, and then you have your speedy guys at the top of the lineup who can get around the bases quicker. It's kind of like a formula that I've made throughout the spring training, and I think I like it how I have it set up right now.
Yeah, and I think you have a good complement of guys who can hit the ball out of the park, into the fountains, but at the same time, Kaufman Stadium, if there's anything that I have always remembered about Kaufman growing up, is that Kaufman is very good for your line drive hitters to try to get those extra bases. So you mentioned Landry, who came into his own evolving last season, 45 doubles after hitting 26 in his rookie season. And this is a guy that already has 2 triples this year, and he had 14 in his first 2 seasons in the triples department. So Landry might not necessarily hit the ball out of the park to a level of even a Miguel Sano, but he absolutely can crush the ball in a line drive capacity, and he can use his wheels, which he's not a 50 stolen base guy, but he is a guy who uses his hustle to really produce. So it leads me in talking about this, because again, we didn't even talk about Miguel Sano in this instance, but he's in that equation, or can be. So let's add him into this, and let's just ask this question outright. With the addition of Chet, and with bringing Parker in, who looks like through Winter League and this early start, he's ready to contribute at the major league level. So let's just ask it very simply. Which one of these guys is going to have the career year? Which one benefits the most in this middle of the lineup?
I gotta be honest with Sano, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, 3 avoid K is really low. And I mean, I wanted to see if I could trade him. I offered him a lot during the preseason. I just don't think at 31 he's gonna have a lot of potential to be the starter. That's why he's not starting right now. He's more of a backup. So I think Parker is going to be the better guy when it comes to those two. I mean, there might be a moment where Sano comes in and does well as a backup, say Parker needs a break. But overall, I think with the way Parker is built and where he sits in the lineup, he's going to be better off than just how Sano looks right now.
Well, injuries can always be a risk as well, too, and having a guy like Sano that you can lean on in those situations, whether it's a platoon player, whether he hits exclusively against lefties, or whether he comes in due to injury. It's not bad having a guy who still had a 1.6 WAR rating, so from a contract standpoint, if he were to duplicate that, then you're getting great value for a Miguel Sano. But yeah, as you said, at the least, he's a bench option for you now. He'll be able to get some games in. He might not be thrilled about that because he is a veteran. He'll turn 32 here very soon. But again, you got to do what's right for your team. And season is long, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Sano to show what he's doing as he looks to knock on the door of 300 career home runs, or hopes to do it this season.
I have faith he might do it. We'll see.
Alrighty. So here's the challenge question. I know a fair share of the league has questioned this. Let's talk about your pitching. So you went out, you got a couple of world champions in 35-year-old Nate Eovaldi and 35-year-old Kyle Hendricks. They're almost $35 million a year combined for one of the smallest budget teams in the majors. It's 30% of your payroll at last check. But here's the question. The Royals are probably considered to have the best farm system, if not the top 3, and are also considered to most likely have the best pitching prospects eMLB has to offer currently. We're already seeing that with the captain, Jorge Barbosa, but we also have in your AAA. You have Alejandro Rosario. He's rated the 4th best prospect in all of eMLB right now. You got 23-year-old Cal Maduro. You have 25-year-old Jaquan Sidbury. Both of those guys are also top 100 prospects in eMLB. The question's simple. Why veterans over youngsters? And are you worried if you're going to cause a negative impact to them, since you've signed both Hendricks and Eovaldi to 4-year deals at very big prices? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I know that's a big talking point. Everybody's like, oh, why did you do that? Way too much money. And at the start of the offseason, I saw them, in the free agency, and I was like, I want a veteran name, at least one veteran name that can lead these young guys and, have a sort of a leadership role. I liked seeing that 10-0 from Eovaldi. And I just thought, I'm going to give him a chance to show that he can do that. Maybe he needed a different change of pace. Maybe he needed to play against different teams. Maybe there's a lot of different factors that come into that. And then the same thing with Hendricks. I mean, in real life, I am a Cubs fan, so knowing Hendricks as a name, he's a good pitcher, but being 35 years old in eMLB, it's like, you have the risk of using these older pitchers opposed to the young guys, whereas I know that they might have a chance to do well. I mean, right now, I wouldn't say the 4 ERA for either one of them is bad. Obviously, it can improve, and obviously, it's not going to be the best thing in the world. But it gives me an option to have them there. And then if Rosario, if Maduro need to come in, I have that option. I mean, I can move Hendricks and Evaldi to the pen for their starts if I really need to. I mean, I've got guys in the pen that, while I do like them, aren't as good as Hendricks and Evaldi. So it's like a factor that I have these veterans and I like them, but if they don't do well, it's not like I'm going to lose out on them because I know they can prove themselves. They just may need a different, because maybe limited on their pitching, maybe limited on what they can do, and then bring in the younger guys who can obviously improve the team and hopefully help us win.
Okay, good. Because again, we think Barbosa's going to lock down a roster spot for quite a while. Connor Siebel has had back-to-back 11-win seasons, and he had a great start to his year on opening day with the 5-0 win. So we think those guys are in. Brady Singer probably is the one who might be perceived to be on the chopping block of all of these guys. So there might be one spot for one of our three mentioned top prospects that you have within your system. But again, that was really where the question came from, because you've made a very long-term commitment with an awful lot of money. It's going to be hard to ever move them, so it can very much put a team with a more limited resources in a very sink or swim spot. So appreciate your thoughts on that particular. Now let's look at your division overall for our final question here. And for lack of a better word, and I need to, before I say this, because we've got enough people listening, before I say this, I need to mention that this is an entire division with a brand new crop of GMs. Last season into this season, this is a brand new group of GMs to eMLB, a full turnover. So it's important to point out that a couple seasons ago, of our 6 divisions, we probably considered the AL Central to be the laughing stock because you could win the division under 500. But it's a different story. It's a different ballgame. We've got some very hungry GMs and everyone there, starting with, of course, Mark Becker in Detroit. Starting with him, you've got Jake Hodges doing well. You've got Daryl Sin in Minnesota, who was 1 game short of making the playoffs from Detroit in a great rally. And of course, Sean Janik joins Matthew Bellows here as our AL Central GMs. So here's where the question is, very simply, from your point of view with how you put your team together, where do you think you finish? And where do you think everyone else will be in the AL Central this year?
First off, I want to say I love my division. I know Lloyd was saying that the NL West is the best division, but the AL Central is the best division. We are the most competitive, in my opinion, and it's going to be a fun season. I can already tell. Love these guys to bits. Just by talking to them and learning their ideas and their strategies and their thoughts, it's a lot of fun, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy this so much. You got Mark in Detroit, obviously, is the scariest team with all of his talent. I mean, he destroyed it in Winter League, and I'm worried about Detroit the most, but I'm not afraid because I know that in my team, I have the potential to be up there. But we have Daryl Sin in Minnesota. Don't count him out. He's got a really good team. He took two out of 3 from me, and that was, that's not something that I'm happy about. But he has a heck of a starting 5, and I enjoy, seeing what he has throughout the course of the year. Then you've got obviously Hedges leading the division with the White Sox. I mean, Joey Best is a really good hitter, and I think he's going to be one of the ones to watch out in the AL Central. with the 467 batting average right now in 7 games. That's crazy.
He says
And
he
then-
wants to be the right-handed David Ortiz. He would wear number 34 if he could. I don't believe it's available in Chicago.
Well, there's no doubt on that. I mean, I know he was talking about how his team is so different when he started the season up, but the White Sox is probably going to be in competition with Detroit. I've got a good feeling that those two are going to be back and forth in the division. Probably me and Minnesota and Cleveland are going to be in the back. I'm not looking. I mean, all GMs want to win, right? But I'm not looking to make my first season to be the winning team. I want to learn my craft, fix my team, develop it as it goes, and then as time goes on, maybe then be a top contending team, because I'm not going to set the bar too high because I don't want to fail that bar. Oop, I apologize for that. So
No worries.
let's get
No worries.
out of here.
Any final thoughts you'd like to have before we let you go?
Oh, I wanted to say real quick to say to your Indians, they may be 2-4 right now, but they are not terrible. Look out for them as well.
I agree. We probably will get a good chance to look at Shane Bieber on Sunday night's broadcast of the game of the day. That is going to be this Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern time in the morning. Coffee with the Commish edition, as Minerva just did for me. We're going to have the Mets against the Indians this Sunday, 10 o'clock. More interleague action. Apparently, we're going to have to call it Interleague Sundays here at this point. All right. Matthew Bellows, Kansas City GM, thank you for your time. Always appreciate having your thoughts both in chat and, of course, here on the interview. And for not speaking very often, you did pretty good. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Alrighty, you too. Alrighty, that was, again, Matthew Bellows, Minerva 9398 here on Twitch, and our Kansas City GM talking about our young crop of GMs in the American League Central. They did a great job. As far as I'm concerned, they had a good offseason. They were very active. Love the energy. We're going to definitely see a lot of them. And hey, we're already seeing the Royals. We'll see the Indians this Sunday. And again, this week, our schedule will get back to what we're used to. We're on our usual schedule, which will be Sundays, 10 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock. Fridays will be game of the night, also 7 o'clock. The only day that has the most potential to be flex is Friday nights, where if we don't do Fridays, it will depend on what's going on around it. It will either be a Saturday additional, a weekend coffee with the commish stream, or if we will do a Thursday eMLB after dark. We'll keep you posted. Best way to know what's going on, join us in the Discord, especially if you've been gifted a sub recently. That means you've been invited to create a player. Go down to the eMLB Basics section of the Discord. You'll find the Create a Player template. If you've been gifted a sub, you put your Twitch username on there. I match you up. I create your player, and we will get you going. So, before we call it a night, let's do a little bit of wrap up here. Again, this week coming, we're going to have 7 days simmed on Sunday. Our sim schedule is Sunday, 7 days simmed, Wednesday, 3 days simmed. So we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Basically, we do one series on Monday through Wednesday. Friday nights will be Thursday through Sunday. And then Sundays, we just basically go full 7-day week. So 2 sim weeks are done for every one real life week we do, because, hey, this is the content that we just wouldn't be able to do if we tried to get a season done a week. No disrespect to the fast sims, but this is why we like this slow pace, because we want to tell the story. We hope you've been enjoying the story so far. So, before we call it, I have a little tease. Later this week coming for Sim Week, we're going to have some special announcements. We've got announcements related to the draft, and we've got announcements related to eMLB SportsNet. You guys have enjoyed this content. I appreciate you being here. Saturday night, right? Get your beers. I don't have one yet. I don't know if I'm gonna have one tonight because my wife and I are gonna watch something. But we've got content like this, and we're looking to expand it. You guys have given us this energy. We're looking forward to expanding on it, and it won't just be me. So, coming very soon, a very special announcement that we hope will do this to the eMLB universe. Every chance I get, I will try to do what I can to bring it next level. And again, you guys are very much a part of it. We appreciate that. So, I have nothing further. I'm going to give the floor just quickly for a couple of minutes to see if anyone has anything. Dishnet, if you are here, are you warmed up in the bullpen and ready to go, sir? As I go take a peek. Dishnet is already streaming, so we already know where we are going. We're going to keep the drop peeps going with passing over to Dishnet, who does his Perfect Team Weekly Showdown on Friday nights. I really feel bad that I'm going to be rivaling him, but again, due to the streaming schedule and due to the fact that I am generally busy on Thursday nights with family. Oh my God. Did Danny you just gifted 25 subs again? And the alerts apparently are dead now. Danny, thank you. You are absolutely insane and a man at the same time. Yep. Thank you, Danny Smith. Appreciate it. A lot of people just got gifted subs. Thank you again, all of you. You guys have been so kind with your generosity and enjoying the content that you have here. So, yes, I see. Hey, Chris Holland got a gifted sub. So, yeah, there's a lot of people who just got gifted subs. Apparently, I finally was able to disable the alerts. So, apologies that you will not have bonnets going in your sleep until we're done here. So again, we've got a couple of big announcements coming. Join us in the Discord so you can stay on top of it. And above all else, the Discord is where you get to read some of the amazing stories of our players. You get to know who's entered into the draft. You get to know who's putting in the work to improve their players, because those gifted subs will all get some level of perk. We're hoping, with the kindness that Danny, Jamie, and everyone else that does, Sean Paxlayer is a regular supporter, all of you that have chosen to do that, again, you're never obligated. I sincerely appreciate it. Humbled every time you choose to hit the gift button, and you're inviting others to just enjoy this experience, which we hope you will continue to enjoy as we go. We got more content coming for you soon, but our next broadcast will be on Sunday. Sunday Fun Day, 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have the Mets taking on the Indians. We expect Shane Bieber to be showing what he's got, and we will look forward to that as well. We'll get our Wednesday. Yep, the player is officially created. Or are you talking about showing on here a certain prospect in the pool named Jandy Ronson? The big 6'9", 18-year-old known as the Little Unit out of Oregon. He's a duck. Quack, quack. Going to be an impressive player to watch. Absolutely. We're looking forward to being able to do it. Again, the draft is such a sight to see when the time comes. By the way, for those of you who are in the creative player, you'll notice something. I have a new feature. As I mentioned, we got announcements coming. I got a new feature. You can count how many pitches. I'll fill more information on that soon. But Jandy is officially our first official player to use a new feature that we will offer you for a certain amount of boost points. You'll be able to add a pitch, and it will work very much like off-season training. So we look forward to being able to share more of that with you. But for now, we got to go raid Dishnet 34, because while I know my wife is going to love your kindness and your generosity, she will murder me if I don't go watch. We watch one episode of Sweet Magnolias coming up. It's her choice. And then we're most likely finally getting to watch Jack Reacher there. I think it's Jack Reacher. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one especially. But let's go back to the letterbox. I go. Let Kitty Ninjas do assassinate. You're looking at this victim, and a further victim from my wife if I don't get moving. So next time I can find some glue and tape, I'll put my head back on straight, and I will be back in front of you. And again, Sunday Fun Day, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will have The Mets taking on the Indians. But for now, let's go over. Say hello to DishNet34. Appreciate you joining me on that. Appreciate you spending some of your day here with me. Remember, how you think directs your life. When you think your best, you're going to be your best. So please, go do your best. You got a weekend ahead of you. Have fun. We'll see you soon. Peace.
You jackass!